you're looking for a class that's going to help you learn the basics. You don't have to have any skills whatsoever. You could be new to biking, you've never touched a bike, never worked on it. This class will allow you to get familiar with your bike. So yes, you are allowed to bring your bike into class. If not, don't worry, we got plenty of class bikes. But things as simple as, well, simple for some of us, putting a wheel on, taking the wheel off, closing up our quick release on the wheel and then on the brake, and then things to look for, so stuff that may have been issues. So we have bearings in our head set that allow this to steer. We're just making sure this is nice and smooth, not getting caught up, it's not gritty, there's no tight spot, it's not rough when it turns. It can definitely be a safety item. So it's doing what it's supposed to do, but also what it should not be doing is moving forwards and backwards, but just giving it a little push back, pull forward. We don't want to feel any clunkiness. So those are quick checks you can do. Same with your wheel. Bearings here in your headset, bearings in your wheels, helps you spin nicely. So if this wheel doesn't spin, kind of stopped a little soon, so either we have a brake rub, we have bearings that are too tight, they got adjusted too tight, or they're breaking down and they need to be replaced. Flat repairs can be tough. Every wheel and tire is different, so it's nice to know what your tire and wheel are like. Some are really easy to come off, some are really hard. So if you're like, basically what we do in classes, we'll simulate a flat tire and just simply going through the steps of breaking the tire free from the rim, getting that little pop, giving it a push side to side, left and right. Once we loosen up that tire, it's basically like loosening up shoelaces on your shoe, and then that shoe is going to be much easier to come off. And then going into our tire levers, and I like Pedros because they're nice and thick and strong. And my tip here is to actually not connect to a spoke, but we're going to pull through the other side and pull as hard as you can. Tires and tubes, they're very, very strong. Go as hard as you can. This way what we're doing is we're tearing more tire off of the rim, and it's just getting looser and looser when I do that. And I'm going to go to slide. Slide, keep your lever nice and flat with your spokes and give it a pull. If you get tight again, go through the spoke, give it a pull, come back, do that as many times as needed, and this will slide right open. Those are some of the techniques we'll use, and then getting everything back onto. Some of these can be very tight, and there'll be another technique to get this tucked in with the new tube. Being very careful not to use these during the installation, because there's always a chance if we try to pop the tire back on, we could accidentally get to the tube and pinch it. Other things we can talk about are the maintenance. This bike, definitely a little dirty, could use a brake frame wash. Also the chain's a little greasy. Even if it was rusted, the chain could just have some surface rust. A lot of times that's okay, it's still gonna function as long as the chain links aren't getting stuck. And it's something you'll notice as you pedal, it will just kind of want to hiccup when it goes through your derailleur and runs around your chain rings. But something like this, we could spray a little degreaser, get a little brush, give it a rinse. Might have to do it a couple times depending how bad it is. Typically we're not going to hurt anything. We're rinsing off with water. We're not hitting with high pressure water because we don't want to accidentally penetrate the seals where the bearings are. We don't want to push dirt into the bearings, so just simply rinsing off will be fine, and then going from there. But a chain can be one of your wear and tear items. That's something that we check periodically, and we're using a chain checker. This is probably like a $15, $20 tool. But this will ensure that your chain is getting replaced when it's supposed to. If we leave it on too long, you're going to wear your cassette, all your gears in the back, and you're going to wear your gears up here in front, and basically your shifting is going to get really bad. So replace the chain and you basically save money. But you're welcome to bring your bike to class so you can get familiar with it, know its nuances. Every bike has its own personality, so then you can learn how to decipher it, talk to it, diagnose it, things like that. Whether you have a road bike, mountain bike, full suspension, commuter bike, e-bike, pretty much a bike is a bike, but we will take care of all beasts. Come take a class, typically Monday through Friday, starting as early as 8:30 a.m., ending at 5 p.m., and occasional Saturdays if you find it hard to get to us or to me on a weekday. And you can break that time up. So a typical beginner class will be about 4 hours. There's an intermediate class, which means we're just touching on other items that you wouldn't normally do in the beginner class. So maybe start talking about cables, housings, things like that, replacing them and whatnot. And then we can talk anything, any questions you have, bike related, whether it's cycling, clothes, routes, safety, places to go ride, things like that. As you get more comfortable, if you decide to get you think you like working on the bike and you want to go deeper, gaining confidence now, you can certainly get into other things where people have brought in a whole project where we strip down one bike, take off all the brakes, the derailleurs, the drivetrain, the wheels, all the cabling, the handlebar, all the bearings, and then swap it over to another bike, or they have new parts and they're going to build up a new frame, build up a new bike off a new frame, which is fun too. And of course, part of the fun is the research, because today a lot of parts have changed.